all the way back. Just storming through the finals, getting lots of love here, getting embarrassed on the broadcast. I won't keep you, Josh. Kisses from the other team, too. Popular guy. Won last month. You won the guts of the... What did you do with the motherboard from the old Killer Queen cabinet? Same cabinet, but we spilled beer in it and it died and you won it.
Yeah.
So meta.
I found KQ at the XOXO Fest in Portland in early September 2014. I was hooked. I was there like the whole night.
I played it here on Thanksgiving of 2014.
We ended up playing in the first ever tournament here and won it, so I was pretty hooked after that. I think Matt Herring showed up shortly after that.
One of my buddies was like, hey, there's this game down at GK and you can just dive kick and kill people. They were all like, hey, there's this cool game. It's kind of like Super Smash Brothers. Like you move around, try to kill each other.
I originally started in 2015 when I got a job working with Dylan on his team.
I came through for Miranda's birthday.
There was one map.
Some players who I think were regular OG players tried to show us how to play the game, and we were like, I don't understand, it's too much. I was like, tell me what to do.
I moved to Portland, sight unseen, no friends. I just came to Ground Kontrol every day, and then eventually got wrangled in by a bunch of amazing people.
I honestly didn't like it at first.
The game looked kind of bad and
It started, at least as a community, of a monthly tournament with people that would come by, and it pretty quickly became more regular than that. When it started, there were 3 scenes.
And then we played in a tournament. I think we got 3rd, and we were like, we could have at least gotten 2nd. And then it kept going.
I got like a brief 1-minute introduction to the controls before playing in a competitive tournament as my first time ever touching the game.
We got, I think, 3rd place, and that just kind of started a fire where I was like, ooh, this game's fun. These people are cool. I want to come back, but I don't want to try to win. I met Matt and Logan and Panda and a few other people, but they had a big white van out front. And after we were done playing, they're like, hey, do you guys smoke? And we're like, smoke what? And they're like, well, weed, of course. So we just all piled into the back of the van and smoked weed. That was kind of the first moment of like, oh, I can just like hang out with these people. Like, okay.
And it was just a good place to come and be a part of something and play something and have a common language and share a thing with other people. And it became a close group of friends.
I think I came up with our team name, which was BDSM, and I like brought toy handcuffs and stuff and like a mesh shirt for them to wear, and it was just very cute and sweet and silly. And I got to see the like fun, silly side of this like pretty competitive game.
Early on, like it was pretty like hyper competitive on one side and then very hyper casual on the other.
Our community has changed a lot over the last 10 years and in really amazing and wonderful and more inclusive ways.
I think Killer Queen puts people in a situation where you have to deal with the consequences of the things you say or how you act, and I think that's really healthy.
10 years is a really long time. I just feel like we're even more glued now and everyone is there ready to be with you as you grow. I think that's an exciting thing that, you know, I never would have guessed that we would have had that before.
I used to get way too hyped when I first started playing. Very like bro-y energy. I'm not proud of that, but I feel like I've grown.
Demanding to run berries.
I make the most obnoxious sounds on the cab when I'm winning, like Daffy Duck, like woohoo, just I can't stop doing it. I've been trying so hard to.
My pop-off is usually I will just laugh or like go like that kind of thing.
I don't really do that as much anymore. It was some tournament with a lot of like somewhat newer players who didn't know me. And someone's like, do the dolphin laugh, and I did it. And I just remember everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? Just like, why is he doing that? Now I'm not toxic at all, okay? Now I'm perfect.
Probably Night Map. I think Night Map's the best one.
I think Dusk is my favorite map.
Night Map.
Right now it's Night Map.
Dusk Map. It's Night Map. It's Night Map. Anybody else, any other answer, they're lying to you. It's Night Map.
If you have a favorite, then you can have a least favorite, and then your weaknesses are exposed.
I think my favorite map might be Dusk Map.
Oh, Dusk, for sure.
Night Map, not Dusk.
Neutral, positive on all the maps. They're good maps. Brent.
Least favorite is Sourberry. It makes no sense.
I mean, the thing that came to mind was Stale is Wet. Stale is Wet is a weird thing to say, and it has connotations that make people uncomfortable.
Stench? Just sounds bad?
Honestly, it annoys the crap out of me when people are going, where's the queen?
I don't like that we call it the nipple. I just can't get behind that one.
Coming back from the pandemic, I hadn't played for a while, and I had a lot of social anxiety. I hadn't seen a lot of people. I was kind of down in the dumps, and I thought no one would remember me. It'd be like, who's this weirdo on the cab? And I just will never forget walking in, and just everyone turned around, and they're like, oh my God, it's Kevin. And there were hugs, and like it was emotional, and it really made me feel like I was part of this crew, and like this is like my second family. So I'll never forget that.
It's kind of like a large national friend group at this point, which I think is really wonderful and fantastic.
Meeting people and then becoming awesome friends, even though they live 1,000 miles away. Hands down, best part.
And at first I was like not that interested in playing because I'm not good at video games. But then I was in school and I made a documentary about the women of Killer Queen, and through that I just kind of fell in love with everybody, and yeah, the people really got me into it.
Yeah, the community, just the people that would take you under their wing or like take you to another location after games and that kind of thing. So it was a little bit more than just the game, with just Killer Queen.
I think my advice for newer players would be that this game is so much about community and is about fun, and so many of these people are here to make friends, and that's what's real wonderful about that, and I think it's good to keep that in mind.
Yeah, just talk to people. We love having new players. We love teaching you new things about the game. If there's anything you have a question about, we're happy to help. So just, hang out, talk to people, see if you can form teams for CCs, and show up for the mixers, obviously. Like, mixers are the best time to play, I think.
Have fun losing. I mean, to this day, that's my advice to anybody, honestly. Everybody dies in this game.
Reaching out to others to play on teams both locally and for travel tournaments, and also just being patient. I think learning a lot of the different skills in this game takes time, and also not everybody's going to say yes to playing on a team with anybody, and I think it's really easy to take that personally when it's not meant that way. So stay curious, reach out, and be patient.
You have to be addicted to the stress of it. It's not enough to merely tolerate it. Like, if you're not actively searching out that intense feeling, that huge dopamine rush, the stress of it, you're probably not going to last as a queen for too long. by the same token, I think everyone should try it and just try to get somewhere with it a little bit because it'll make you better.
Like 1 year into the game community, there was all of these people, they were already best friends. And I said to myself one day, I'm just going to fake it until I make it. I'm going to be friends with these people, I'm going to say what I think, and I'm going to make sure that my opinion is heard, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to get things done. And I think my biggest piece of advice for new players is to show up and get things done. And you do belong here, and you are our friends. Even if we all look like we're all together in our own little shell, like, you can break into that shell. Domish.
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 Domish. Domish.
Domish. Domish.
Domish. It's Domish.
Of course it's Domish.
Domish.
What are your strengths and how did you get so good?
My biggest strength is being better than everybody else at Killer Queen. And baby, I was born with it.
What do you think the number one thing newer players get wrong?
Newer players. My most hated kind of players. The biggest problem with newer players is that they chose to not play the game for 10 years like I have already.
What do you think the number one thing experienced players still get wrong?
Experienced players are my second least favorite kind of player. The biggest mistakes they make are not listening to me, questioning my authority, and choosing to play on a team with literally anybody else.
How many tournaments have you won?
I haven't quite won all of them, is all I know, and it keeps me up at night.
What is your KQ goal?
To win every tournament, to force every other player to bend to my will.
Is there a tournament you'd still like to conquer?
My white whale. Another Bumble Bash.
Who is your nemesis?
My true nemesis is the burden of time. And also Andrew Turbo Kelly.
What made you into a villain?
An excellent question. It comes with the territory of having a cat.
Who is the most overrated scene?
They're all overrated because they don't have me. And so by that metric, Portland is the least overrated scene of all time. Evil Domish in the morning.
My toxic call out?